everybody, this is Miss Phoebus back again with lesson 23, horizontal and vertical lines. All right, I can graph linear functions written in any form by hand. Technology isn't going to work here, especially for one of our lines. We'll talk about that in a minute, but we are going to look at intercepts. We are going to graph the functions, linear functions, and here we go. So the thought for today is hoi vux. I know that doesn't mean anything. It's actually fun to say, hoi vux, but the H in hoi stands for horizontal lines. The O, think of it like a zero. Horizontal lines have zero slope and y equals in their equation, and that means they cross the y-axis and they have a y-intercept. So that is hoi, horizontal, zero slope, y equals. Vux is vertical lines have undefined slope, and they have x equals in their equation. They cross the x-axis only. They have an x-intercept, no y-intercepts at all. So hoi vux, and it's supposed to help you remember the components that go along with it. So we're going to use that in today's lesson. So we're going to start with y equals 2. So the first question we're going to ask yourselves is, does this match hoi or vux? Well, since it has a y equals, the only one with a y is hoi, so we're going to use hoi to help ourselves. And that would mean that I have to make a decision, is it horizontal or vertical? Well, since there's an h there, we're going to know that that means that this is a horizontal line. The slope of that line, because of the O, we know is 0. And so what we're going to do, we know that it only crosses the y-axis. So we're going to put a point at 2 on the y-axis, and we're going to draw a horizontal line. Now, I'm really big on points. You don't have to give me every single point. You can spread them out, but you do want a couple of guideline points. So if you get a question, points, question mark from me in your feedback, that's going to mean that you should have drawn more points. But there we go. We have a horizontal line, 0 slope, and then it goes through y equals 2. It's one of our constant family functions. All right, so here's another example. We've got x equals -7. So because it's x equals, which one are we going to choose, hoi or vux? We should choose vux because it has the x in it. All right, so then is the line horizontal or vertical? Well, because of the v, it's vertical. And what's the slope? The u tells us that it's undefined slope. And so we're going to go through x equals -7. So x, -7 on the x-axis. Now, this is what I get a lot of times. And people will think that they've done it right, but then what they'll do is they'll put the x-intercept down, but then they'll also do this, and then they create a horizontal line. Oh, I missed a point. But you have to be careful. You have to pay attention to that slope. So a good effort, however, we want it to go straight up and down. Remember, I want points. So straight up, a couple points, straight down, a couple points, all the way across the plane. There you go. Vertical line, vux. So let's look at another example. I want you to try this example. Try to figure out A, B, and C. Pause the video. All right, so because it is x equals, it is a vux. It is a vertical line with undefined slope. Now we look at the number. 3 over 2 is the same as 1.5, so we're going to have to do a little bit of estimating. And we are going to estimate the x-intercept, because remember it's x equals, so it's on the x-axis. And then I'm going to do a couple of other points above it, still estimating about halfway in between. And then we want our vertical line to go all the way across according to the plane. There we go. So this hoi vux idea is what we call a mnemonic, a way to memorize things. So it's supposed to be helpful. Okay, so I want you to try number 4, try to figure out is it hoy or vux, and figure out B and C, and then see if you can graph this line. Pause the video. All right, so here we go. This is hoy because it has y equals in it. Hey guys, I need you to email me your favorite geometric shape. All right, it is horizontal because it has the h and it has 0 slope. And so we're going to go down to -7.5, right about there. Do some points all the way across. And there is our constant function that is a horizontal line. A y equals only has a y-intercept, no x-intercepts. All right, so that's pretty much it for today's lesson. But remember that if you have an x and a y in your equation, you're going to have diagonal lines with positive slope or negative slope. So notice that these just had one letter. It was either a y or an x. So you should not have any diagonal lines when you just have a y or an x. You should either have a horizontal line or a vertical line. All right, so opening today, you have a quiz. There are 4 questions on that quiz, and here are the kinds of things that are on there. You should not take the quiz until you've watched lessons 21 and 22. Those are on slope, average rate of change, and then slope-intercept form. You need to take your quiz by Friday at the latest. Okay, so make sure that you are getting ready for that quiz. If you don't take it, I can't guarantee that you will be able to take it later. So you might want to make sure you are taking it before or on Friday. All right, test 3 is next Tuesday, September 22nd, during your normal class time. This is a cumulative test over units 1, 2, and 3. And so that means that it goes over all those units. So if you do better on test 3, which does get its own grade, than you did on test 1 or 2, I will replace the bad test grade with a good test 3 grade. If you make worse or make the same, no change will happen. So the question that I want to ask you is, do you want to do 25 questions like we normally do? And there are some where you type, there are some multiple choice, and there are some where you take a picture of your work. Or would you rather do 50 questions, all multiple choice? You would still have the same time frame. We're still looking at an hour and a half, but I'm going to leave that up to you. I want you to send me an email telling me how many questions you would like to have in the cumulative test. We'll go with the majority of what people say. I need that email by tomorrow, Thursday. Okay, so if you want to have a voice in how many questions are going to be on the test, you need to email me by tomorrow, by Thursday. One of the other things that I am doing is I'm putting up a video on how to get to my classroom. It's not the best video, it's a little bumpy, I breathe a little bit heavy, finding out all kinds of great things about myself from watching these videos. I talk with my eyes closed, I say, all right, and so, a lot. Make funny weird clicking noises. But anyway, so there is a video so that you can get an idea of where my classroom is, how to get there, so you're not, maybe that'll ease your mind a little bit as we start coming back to school. All right, guys, that's the end of the video. Bye.